sales rock star, you have to be able to display empathy. Today what we're going to do is we're going to listen to a live phone call, which is a really, really good example of an agent actually displaying empathy towards the person that they're talking to. They're making the other person an actual real person, not just a transaction. That's really, really the key in phone sales, is that when you're talking to somebody else, make them the priority. Make it all about them. And that's really the key. I wrote a book called Sell the Problem, Not the Solution. And in that book, it's all about making it about the other person. And this phone call does a very good job of displaying the agent making it all about them. But before we jump in and dive into this call, make sure that you subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell so that you're updated on all these new videos that come out, so that you have everything at your disposal to be an absolute sales rock star. So let's jump right into this phone call. Let's listen to the empathy that's being displayed by this agent on this phone call and how he's reacting to what the other person is actually saying. So let's jump in here.
Hi, Michael. How are you doing today?
I'm very confused, sir.
Oh,
I
no.
have a mental condition, and my dad just died. I got paperwork all over, and they've been sending me medical, this stuff, and I don't know what to do,
Oh.
Boom. Here we've got somebody on the phone that just says they're very confused. They don't know what to do. What they're doing is they're saying, hey, is this the person that I should do business with? Is this my sales rock star that I have on the phone with me? Now, how you respond to this is going to determine how this phone call is actually going to go. So let's listen how the agent responds back to this person. But here's the biggest problem in Medicare sales. The biggest problem is the fact that this is confusing. It's overwhelming. It doesn't make sense to most people. So our job as a sales rock star is not only to have empathy, but also understand that what they're going through is confusing. It's not normal. See, we do this on a daily basis, so we know Medicare. We understand how Medicare works. But to the average person, they don't understand how Medicare works. So you have to be empathetic to their needs and not treat it like a transaction. So let's jump in here and start listening to how the agent starts responding.
Okay. Well,
it seems like a lot of these, if you kind of read them, they're insurance companies that and I can't afford any more insurance.
right.
But I've been disabled since totally disabled since '08, and then I received some money from a fact.
Let me stop it real quick right here. As you're listening to this phone call right now, are you hearing how that individual is responding right now? They're saying, That's somebody that's unsure of what's going on. They're so confused that they're now verbalizing it by going, You have to listen to that other person so intently that you can start picking up on these little things that they're saying. Start picking up on these verbal cues that the other person is actually saying.
Factory I worked at.
Okay.
And it's Blue Cross Blue Shield. But since I retired, they keep changing that,
Right. Right.
I work for Caterpillar.
How much are you paying for the Blue Cross?
Oh God, give me a minute, please.
Yeah, take your time.
I got to find a paper. What I got to find is
You can start hearing the
I got to find a. Please bear with me. I'm having
That's okay.
a hard time.
The real reason why everybody keeps calling you and sending you all these things is because you're now in your open enrollment. So even though you went on Medicare early for disability, you're now eligible for 100% coverage. So you no longer will have to pay co-pays or have a max out of pocket. Everything will be covered 100%. So no matter what happens to you, whether the medical bill is $1,000, $100,000, or $1 million, you're going to be covered. Okay.
I'm really not going to need that other insurance.
Right, that's insurance.
No, I mean from my factory.
You wouldn't need that any longer.
I think they're charging me like $250, $300 a month.
Yeah, we're going to get all that back for you. You're now eligible for 100% coverage, and let me tell you how much it's going to cost.
What's it cost me now?
What's your zip code?
I didn't know. I didn't know Medicare cost me money.
Right. It comes directly from Social Security.
Yeah.
What's your zip code?
Okay. I found my thing here. Just a moment. I didn't even open it. Just a second.
Take your time.
So I'm going to stop it real quick right now. As you're listening to this phone call right now, the agent is actually making a little bit of a mistake right now by going right into trying to find out what the cost of the Medigap supplement plan is going to be. But he's already heard that this individual has a plan that's more expensive than a supplement. He also understands that the individual is already on Medicare early for a disability, so they're already paying that Part B premium, so the agent understands that. But in this phone call so far, have you already understood, because I want you to understand this, what is the biggest problem for this individual? He actually told the agent what the biggest problem was. Here's what it was. Go back and listen to it. He tells the agent that they keep changing his insurance on him, okay? And he doesn't like that. That's a big problem that we can start using as a pain point when we're trying to go ahead and sell him something else. So that's a key thing as you're listening to the phone calls. Start trying to pick up the problem, the pain point, so that you can actually address that. This gentleman just said exactly what his pain point was. They keep changing it on him. Now right here, I would not leave as much airtime, dead time right now. I would start trying to make some type of a conversation.
They're charging me $225 a month.
Yeah, we're going to get that back for you, okay?
What do you mean get it back?
You're no longer going to need it, so they're not going to be able to charge you for it anymore.
Well, you're not going to get any money back for me, though.
Well, you're no longer going to pay the $225, so that's how we're going to get it back.
Oh.
You know what I mean? You're no longer going to have to pay that. You're going to pay a whole lot less.
I hope you're going to get it back for me from, 2008.
Right. I wish.
Boom. See what just happened? The guy just started laughing, started chuckling. Agent starts chuckling. There's a connection that's starting to happen right now, which is a really, really good thing. If you want to connect with somebody, get them to laugh a little bit, get them to chuckle. Once you do that, the connection starts happening, which is really important when you're talking to somebody in the first, I call it the first compartment of sales, is that in the first compartment, you want to connect with the other person. You want to go ahead and find some common ground. And right now what's happening in this phone call, and the reason I'm playing this is that there's a chuckle, there's a connection that's starting to happen right now between the agent and the other person on the phone call.
Wait, now what's your zip code?
61604.
61604. Let me find out what 100%.
I don't get my total retirement. My wife died of cancer, or she divorced me and then died of cancer. But I always have to pay her $700 a month, and then she died.
Wow.
Okay, and they're only giving me. I only got $350 back. They're saying the other $350 is going to an escrow.
Really?
And I don't understand that at all.
Yeah. Huh. I would.
You know.
Yeah, I would go down to.
Well, they said talk to a lawyer about it. You know, I said, well, where's it going? Well, it's going to her. I said, well, she's dead.
Right.
You know, but they said, well, you'll have to go to a lawyer and have it explain it to you. So, what can you do? Yeah, they're charging me $200. And they keep changing our medical.
Boom. He says it again a second time, folks. He just talked about the pain point a second time. I hope you're picking this up right now when you're listening to this recording. He just mentioned again that they keep changing on them. That is a pain point. That is a problem that you can hit on when you're talking about the features and benefits later on of what you're selling. Tie it back into the pain point that, hey, what I'm going to offer you right now is not going to change. In this instance, the sales agent is trying to sell him a Medigap supplement, which the coverage will not change. So that's a really key thing, addressing the pain point.
Because Caterpillar used to be a good place to work. Now because on the board of directors there was somebody from engineering and all that, Well, now it's all pencil pushers. They're all from accounting,
Right.
And they'll do anything to save a penny.
What was your first name?
Michael?
Michael. Okay, so Michael,
You see what just happened? Asked him again his first name, Michael. He addressed him back as Michael. Phenomenal. That's what you want to start doing, is you want to always address the person by their first name. So right now we're still in the connection stage of this phone call. We're trying to connect with the other person, getting them to chuckle, getting to use first names with that person, so you're on a first name basis. So agent's doing a really good job right now of doing that.
I looked it up for you. You're going to have 100% coverage. It's only going to cost you $108.47. So I'm going to save you about $117 a month. How's that sound?
Wow, man, that's the first thing good that's happened to me in a long time. Pal.
When do you turn 65?
In 2010, I was doing great, you know, and then I got called down to Kentucky. My mom had cancer, and I took care of her.
Oh.
Did you just hear that? The agent said, oh. The agent actually meant that. You can hear it in his voice. You can hear it in his tonality. He wasn't just doing that. This guy's had a really rough time. Had a wife that divorced him, died of cancer, parents died. I mean, he's gone through a lot. He's on disability. And so finding that agent's empathy started coming through really through the phone call. Oh, you could hear it. You could feel it. And that's the key to having empathy and connection. Now, one thing the agent did wrong was giving the price out too quickly on the Medicare supplement plan. There wasn't enough value built into it. Now, the great thing is the agent did sell this individual supplement plan and saved him a lot of money, but that's too early in the phone call to do that. It's very transactional once you give out the price. So again, you don't want that until later on in the phone call when you're done going over the features and benefits, building up the value of what you're selling and then tying it back in to the pain point, because the agent could have done a much better job on that side of it. But again, what I'm focused on right now is just the connection, the empathy right now of this phone call.
Last 4.5 months, I had to go in there and lift the covers every day to see if she was breathing.
Oh.
And then I lived in the house for a little while, and then I come up and next to my dad, and he had a heart attack. So I moved over to his house, and it was about 2 years in, because he had dementia, and he had a stroke, and he just died on me an hour before my birthday. And mom left on my birthday, and I have no children.
What a tough situation this guy's had.
Myself.
Wow.
You know,
I'm so
not
sorry,
having
Mike.
a big, you know,
Well, hey, I'll be with you every step of the way from this day out. Think of me as your own little personal insurance attorney. You need anything, any questions, you give me a call, okay?
well,
Now, when are you turning 65?
April 27th.
Okay. So April, you're going to have the same insurance you have now until April 1st.
Boom. I'm going to stop the call right now. The purpose of this phone call was for you to see the connection, see the empathy that this agent had towards this individual. The agent started feeling empathetic to what this individual was going through, and you could feel that connection already between these two individuals. So that's the key in selling is, first of all, you have to be able to connect with somebody. If you can get them to chuckle, get them to laugh right at the beginning, the sale has been half won right there by just that connection. Showing empathy for the other person. I've listened to a lot of sales calls in my career, and I've listened to calls exactly like this one, where the salesperson had zero empathy, and you could feel it, you could see it, and unfortunately that agent never sold that person because they never connected and they were never empathetic to what they were actually going through. So now that you've listened to this phone call, get out there, make sure that you're empathetic towards the individual, make sure that you're connecting with that person right off the bat, and treat everybody you talk to not like a transaction, but sell the relationship. If you do that, you will be an absolute sales rock star, and you will close more sales, and you're going to help more people by that mindset.